Really, what are your thoughts on Shane Morris? He got a lot of the reps on Tuesday. How have you seen his progressions throughout the season since he came here as being the highly touted freshman?
Yeah, I think people underestimate the transition from going to high school to college, and it's so tough. Especially, quarterback's the toughest position to play just because you have to know what everyone else is doing, what you're doing, what the line's doing, where the back's going. And so, I think he's done a pretty good job. And a lot of times these bowl practices, younger guys get up and get more reps. And so he's doing that right now. He's doing a good job.
What is the difference between catching a ball from Devin and then Shane? Obviously, one's left hand, one's right hand. But what is sort of the differences? Is one throw a little bit of better ball, one a little stronger arm?
I think the biggest difference is just coming off a lefty hand, it tails, the opposite way than coming off a righty. So if you're catching balls more from Devin, it'll seem a little different coming from Shane's hand.
And now, is potential-wise, though, do you see it in practice, why he was so highly touted coming out of high school? Do you see that talent?
Yeah,
obviously he's rough around the edges, but are you seeing it? Like, is there a reason for why everyone's so optimistic about his future?
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's kind of where I trust these coaches that they get good recruits, and they did in Shane. He's a good player. One of his best attributes is he studies film, and he studies the game, and then his athletic ability takes over on the field.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
What have you seen out of Justice Hayes is he playing at the same spot as you, or is he playing outside?
He's going back and forth. He's just kind of playing where we need him to play.
And what have you seen out of him in terms of what he's done in practice at the position?
He can catch the ball, he can run, he can take handoffs. He's fast, he's athletic. A lot of good things.
Does it help him in Northfleet a little bit to have started out at running back at the position, to make that switch, or is it just it doesn't matter? I
don't think it really matters. I think maybe just from an overall of knowing the offense probably helps them out a little bit, so they kind of know what's going on a little bit more. But I don't think it matters if he would started out at slot or started out at running back.
What stands out to you about Kansas State when you've watched them on film, their defense?
They're pretty stout up front. They can run and they're physical. I think that's the thing we focus on in the Big 12 Conference. That they're pretty physical. They played a lot of teams, like the Oklahomas that spread it out. So that's different than the Big 10 Conference.
Do you think that gives you a little bit of an advantage against them?
You would hope so, but you have such a long period of time to practice for bowl games that maybe it might not be as big of a big of an advantage.
Yeah, Taylor said earlier this week, and all through the season, basically that he's not going to be sentimental about it being his last season. Is that the same for you, or are you kind of looking at this as it's your last game? It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I think it is in the back of all our minds, all the seniors' minds. It is our last game. But at the same time, it's I'm not playing for myself. Taylor's not playing for himself. We're playing for this team, these coaches, and this program. And so we're gonna, our mentality is we're gonna win the game for Michigan. Not necessarily I'm trying to win or get good stats for me. It's trying to play our best for Michigan.
Have you thought about that at all, though? As far as the game, the clock then hit zero, and it's going to be like you're done.
At the end of the game, it's going to be pretty sad. I'm trying not to think about it too much, just so it won't affect my preparation. But yeah, I know my mom's probably going to be crying. It's going to be sad, yeah.
And a lot of the underclassmen have talked about this game being for the seniors. Is that something that that's something you said last year, I think, too. And is that something though that it adds a little bit meaning for you as far as that your teammates are out there for you playing?
I think so. It's always kind of a boost when you know that your teammates have your back, and we've been that way the whole year. Especially this program is about the seniors, and so I wouldn't necessarily this game only is the only one that's been about the seniors. But yeah, it's nice to